So now we move on to the second part of this week's tutorial session on contributing to the NHT. I'm going to show you some screenshots from my personal TAJ portal. This is how the TAJ form would look like once you sign in. This week we're going to focus on the lower half, which is highlighted here. So before, once you log in to the e-services account, you would automatically go to the accounts tab, but when you're going to fill out your estimated income tax return or your SO4A form, of course you're going to need to go on the submissions tab, which is highlighted here. So you click on the submissions tab, and of course I have certain information blotted out. That's why I have these weird spaces. So I just focus on the things that you would likely see when you just sign up for your TAG account. So you can see over here under the column called process, we have estimated income tax return, new account access, new account registration. The SO4A was filled out by my accountant as the estimate, although you can fill it out, but for the actual tax return, I wouldn't suggest that you fill it out on your own. I would suggest that you get some professional help. So January, February, March, that's the first quarter, first 3 months. Then April, May, June, that's the second quarter. Then July, August, September, that's the third quarter. And then October, November, December, that's the fourth quarter. On the March 15th, the June 15th, the September 15th, and the December 15th, you will be paying your estimated tax as well as your NHT contribution as at those dates. And how the NHT calculates it is that because we're not paying in the normal sense of a paycheck, because we're self-employed, they just look at, okay, then did you pay the last quarter's tax assessment for yourself, including your NHT contribution, and are you up to date since? So that's how they figure out, one, if they're going to give you any of the NHT benefits, and two, how much I would give you based on your income level, and of course based on whether you have a whole lot of other debts. We're going to focus on the top link, which is estimated income tax return. So you'll click on that link and it will lead you to an online form, and because I've already submitted my one for 2020, it will make any sense for me to show you that, because the point is I would be able to submit it again. So you just click on that and you'll fill out the following form, which is the estimated income tax return. So here we have the SO4A form. You can see it's called the Declaration of Estimated Income Taxes and Contributions Payable, and that contributions is referring to your NHT and NIS. The taxes would be, of course, your income tax and education tax, but of course you don't pay the income tax of 25% if your income is below the current income tax threshold of 1.5 million. Now, here's how the form looks. We're going to fill it in using our fictitious character, destiny weights, and made up information. But don't worry, it will not be submitted to the TAJ. I'm just doing this to show you how you go about filling out the form. Of course, when you have access to your TAJ portal, you will be filling this out online, but I just feel like showing you how to do it on the form can still help you, because when you fill it out online, it will guide you through a series of steps, and then it will give you the option to print the completed form. Alright, so let's fill in our girl's last name, her first name, Destiny. Did we give her a middle name? I don't know. Should I make up a middle name? Let's call her Fortuna. Now the NIS, we know it's alphanumeric. This is not a real NIS number, alright people? Let's give her the fictitious CR. Now, her current business address. This is where she has her stall. So let's just make it, again, another fictitious thing. So let's say that she receives her mail at 20 Mango Street. You can tell I like pineapple and mango. Jamaica, let's assume that Destiny Fortuna Wait is a resident of Jamaica. Do you anticipate a significant change in your statutory income for the coming year of assessment? Meaning, do you expect that based on this estimated net profit of 960,000 for the year, if you believe that it's going to be way more? So we're going to just say no. Of course, remember that this is just an estimate. So further down the line, when at the end of 2020, you'll know for sure if there has been an increase in your income, and of course your accountant would adjust that accordingly. So once you finish filling out this form, these fields are going to be filled out it's going to auto-populate right here. So let's go here. Statutory income from immediately preceding year of assessment. So this applies if you're already contributing or doing business from the year before. Then this is where the net profits will be from the preceding year. Then you would see if there was any increase or decrease versus your estimated statutory income, which would then be adding up what you made the previous year plus whatever increase you expect for this 2020. It's also if you say you expect an increase in your income or your net profits for 2020, it was the reason. So in this case, we're going to assume that Decimate started business in 2020. So then she would have 960,000 right here. Now it's asking these questions. We're going to assume that she does have employment income from Jamaica, employment income from source outside Ireland. So you have all of these options, which is why I say in some cases, for the more complex business situation, and like if you have categories inside here, like if you have shares or you have annuities or any of these things, it will just make sense for you to have an accountant do it. But if it's just a simple thing, simple self-employed, just starting out, then these wouldn't be filled in if they don't apply to you. So it says total income and tax which is withheld at source. That's the sum of lines 4 to 13. We had 0 there. And the income tax subject to estimated income tax and contributions, they said it would be line 3 less line 14. And the reason why they are subtracting the income tax on these different categories is because you would have paid them directly. So you would deduct any income which the tax is withheld at source, meaning that they took it out before. So because we're assuming that none of these categories apply to her, then we set at 0. So then they say line 3, which is here, less 14, so 960,000 minus 0 is still 960,000. This is the income tax section now, so we're filling it in. So the current threshold, which is $1.5 million, $1.596, she's below that, so 960,000 times 0, which just means that she would pay income tax of 0. In this case, this would be 0. She hasn't made over the 960,000 net profit, and that means that she wouldn't be paying the 25% tax rate. She would be paying the 30%. The only thing she has made is 960,000, which is far less than the 1.5 million income tax threshold. And she's definitely not making 4.5 million, she's definitely not making 6 million. So therefore her estimated income tax payable would be 0. Now by the way, let me just point out to you that these calculations that I'm going along and doing manually, when you go on to the TAJ portal, you will just be putting in really your estimated net profit and it will just automatically calculate these things for you. So now we're going to look at the education tax, which is assessed at 2.25%. Now 2.25% in decimal form would be 0.0225. That would give us 21,600. Now because she had not had any NIS or any taxes withdrawn from other sources, she would have to pay the full NIS amount. So that would be 960,000. That's the decimal form. That would be 0.05875. So that would be 56,400. Now here's the fun part that we love. NHT contribution on 960,000 is at 3%. So 960,000 times 0.03, that would be 28,800. So now we're going to go up and see what has been generated. So you can see that it auto-generated that for the year 2020. It is estimated that Destiny Fortuna Waits would pay 0 income tax. Now tax payable for 2020 is 21,600. her estimated NIS, which is the National Insurance Scheme, which you do get back in the form of the government pension, is 56,400. The estimated NHT payable for the year 2020 is 28,800. Now you may look at these numbers and say, whoa, Sophia, that's a whole lot of money. But the good news is that you will pay it according to the quarters. So a quarter of 0 is just 0. That's quarterly income tax. The quarterly education tax would be 21,600. They said times 0.25, but we know that 0.25 is decimal for quarter. Multiplied by 0.25 is the same thing as dividing by 4. So the quarterly amount would be 5,400. And of course, the quarterly NIS would be 14,100. And the National Housing Trust amount, this will be 7,200. So each quarter she would be paying 7,200 plus 14,100 plus 5,400. She'll be paying 26,700. Now this is where if you had a tax preparer to prepare the form, you would fill it in here. So here she would then put in her signature and date it.
So you have come to the end of those tutorial sessions, and I hope it was very informative for you, very useful. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to respond as best as I can. And if there's something that I don't know, I'll try to find out and tell you, or at least point you in the right direction. Alright? Yes. Now, if you were watching these tutorial sessions on Facebook, please be sure to like and follow my Facebook page, Sophia4Christ. Now, if you were watching these tutorial sessions on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, also called Sophia4Christ, and not only subscribe, but click the notification bell so that you'll know just when I upload a new video to my YouTube channel. And whether you are watching from Facebook or YouTube, please be sure to thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, like, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up the videos, please, because that is what indicates that the videos that I've spent a lot of time to create, they're useful to you, and then both Facebook and YouTube will be more likely to suggest them to other persons so that they can also be enlightened and empowered to go forth and fulfill their divine purpose in Christ Jesus, but specifically in the area of owning their own homes. Let's just also share. Sharing is caring, people. Share, share, share. Whether on Facebook or YouTube, please share. Alright, so until we meet again next week, may His blessings, peace, and wisdom be upon you all. Bye-bye.